Welcome to today's headline news. This is Maria Han. Attorney Lin Wood posted several tweets within the span of an hour. On the evening of the 18th, Attorney Sidney Powell met with President Trump's former National Security Advisor, General Flynn, along with several advisors from his camp in the president's Oval Office. They also connected with President Trump's personal lawyer, Giuliani, to discuss with President Trump about appointing Powell as a special prosecutor dedicated to investigating U.S. election fraud in the 4 swing states. The government has also been working on a number of issues, such as the rerun of the general election in the 4 swing states or the seizure and inspection of voting machines used during the election through the U.S. Department of National Security. With this appointment, President Trump hopes to give Powell privileged access to security clearances when conducting investigative work. On Saturday night, the 19th, Attorney Lin Wood tweeted continuously throughout an hour saying, "Patriots are praying tonight that Trump will impose martial law in disputed states, seize voting machines for forensic examination, and appoint Sidney Powell as special counsel to investigate election fraud." Soon after, in a second tweet, he said, "Georgia, Michigan, Arizona, Nevada, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Pennsylvania are states in which martial law should be imposed and machines and ballots seized. 7 states under martial law, 43 states not under martial law. I like those numbers. Do it. Nation supports you." In his latest tweet, Attorney Lin Wood again said, "Many are concerned imposition of martial law will result in street violence by some seeking to tear our country apart. Patriots are peaceful people who just love freedom. Patriots only seek to defend and protect freedom they love." Special meaning: Trump's staff member tweets photos in quick succession. It is interesting to note that a staff member for President Trump has been tweeting out special photos, which makes people wonder the meaning behind them. White House social media director Dan Scavino sent out several tweets in quick succession, without a single word, only photos of people and a GIF of an American bald eagle, as well as the video "Fight for Trump." According to reports, Dan Scavino interacts with President Trump daily due to his work, so it can be said that he knows more of what President Trump is thinking than an average person. So perhaps we can feel a bit of the real atmosphere in the White House from those tweeted messages. The first picture tweeted is a GIF of the U.S. national bird, the bald eagle. Does its fierce gaze feel like the gaze of President Trump? The second video has become the hot topic of the day, and it's called "Fight for Trump." The video is currently pinned on President Trump's Twitter feed. It has already received hundreds of thousands of likes. Someone replied to President Trump, "This election is not just about America. It's about the whole world. The people of the world understand that Trump is the only one who can stand in the way of the sinister globalist communists. If America, the beacon of hope and freedom, falls into the hands of the Chinese Communist state, through Biden, the whole world will fall." The video on Scavino's Twitter feed also received tens of thousands of likes. In a new tweet, President Trump is gazing at President Lincoln's portrait. What was he thinking? What will President Lincoln tell him as the 2 American presidents look at each other through time and space at this pivotal moment in history? Another tweet is a black and white photo of President Trump looking at the famous British Prime Minister Winston Churchill's portrait. Prime Minister Churchill made a very famous and short speech, which was "Never give up." President Trump has also used the phrase "never give up" many times in his own speeches. And the latest photo is another black and white photo. President Trump is on the phone. Who is he calling and what is he saying? What instructions is he giving? President Trump's expression is serious and grave. America has reached a critical moment in history. These successive tweets, without a word, seem to brew a huge outburst amidst the silence. Miracle of San Gennaro did not happen. Imminent calamities? Naples Cathedral in Italy houses the holy blood of the former bishop San Gennaro. which is taken out and observed by the church staff every year to predict the fortune of the following year. On December 16th of this year, when the church staff took out the sacred blood as usual, they found that it remained solid and did not liquefy. The locals feared that this represented a terrible catastrophe in the future. San Gennaro, the local patron saint of Naples, was the bishop of Benevento in the 3rd century AD. It is said that after his martyrdom, his blood was collected in a bottle and stored in the Naples cathedral. The blood of this saint is still fresh and is therefore called holy blood. Since 1389, every year on the first Saturday of May, September 19th, and December 16th, the Church has taken out the container containing the holy blood and let the faithful witness the solidified holy blood become liquid, which is called the miracle of San Gennaro. The locals believe that as long as the sacred blood is successfully liquefied in the ritual 3 times a year, the coming year will be prosperous and there will be little unrest or disaster. On the contrary, if it is not liquefied, it is an ominous sign that the coming year will be full of disasters, war, diseases, famine, and other natural and man-made calamities. During the 2 ceremonies in May and September of this year, the holy blood liquefied successfully, and both were during the COVID-19 virus pandemic, also known as the Chinese Communist Party CCP virus. However, on the morning of December 16th, church personnel removed the holy blood and found that it had not melted. Father Vincenzo de Gregorio of the Royal Chapel of St. Januarius expressed that although the faithful prayed for hours that day, and even held a special Mass in the afternoon, the holy blood remained solid until the end of the evening Mass. It is said that there have been several instances of unliquidated holy blood in the past. The most famous of these occurred around the 1940s, when the miracle of the holy blood did not occur, and then the Second World War broke out, during which Naples was bombed by the Allies. Another one occurred in 1980, when the Irpinia earthquake of 6.9 on the Richter scale struck southern Italy, killing nearly 2,500 people. Cardinal's warning against the Great Reset. In response to the Democratic Party's effort to promote socialism and the infiltration of Marxism in the United States, the U.S. Cardinal Raymond Burke recently issued another warning that Marxist materialism now seems to seize the governing power over our nation, and that other countries are experiencing similar crises. Burke said, "To attain economic gains, we as a nation have permitted ourselves to become dependent upon the Chinese Communist Party, an ideology totally opposed to the Christian foundations upon which families and our nation remain safe and prosper." Burke, the former Archbishop of St. Louis and now a member of the highest judicial authority in the Roman Catholic Church, made his comments in his homily on the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe on December 12th. Cardinal Raymond Burke is warning that the World Economic Forum's Great Reset initiative in response to the coronavirus pandemic is an attempt to manipulate citizens and nations through ignorance and fear, at the same time that Marxist materialism is taking hold in the United States. COVID-19, he said, is being used by certain forces inimical to families and to the freedom of states to advance their evil agenda. These forces tell us that we are now the subjects of the so-called Great Reset, the new normal. Burke said these sinister forces want people to find in a disease and its prevention the way to understand and direct our lives, rather than in God and in His plan for our salvation. At a time when we most need to be close to one another in Christian love, worldly forces would isolate us and have us believe that we are alone and dependent upon secular forces, which would make us slaves to their godless and murderous agenda. Thank you for joining us today on Headline News, and we'll see you next time.